What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Zay Speaks back in the building today. Before we get anything started, I just want to say I greatly appreciate all my family, my friends, my peers, my colleagues. I appreciate all you guys for supporting me and investing into my channel. It makes me want to keep going. So without being said, I just want to get into it. Today we're gonna be talking about the NBA trade deadline. I'm starting this video the day before the deadline is, so I can get this out as soon as the deadline's over. You feel me? I just want to go over the deadline, talk about the trades, grade the trades in my opinion, and give my thoughts on the trades. And yeah, probably be about 25-30 minutes of yap. It depends on how long I yap for. So let's get into this yap, baby. So starting off with the first trade, the 2026 NBA trade deadline, we had a 3-team trade between the Cavs, Kings, and Bulls. The Bulls would receive Dario Saric, a 31-year-old center who's only played 5 games, so his stats are null and void. The Bulls also received a second-round pick for 2027 and a second-round pick for 2029. And this is where the real trade happened. The Kings sent Keon Ellis, a 26-year-old shooting guard, and the 32-year-old point guard, Dennis Schroeder, to the Cavaliers in return for a 28-year-old small forward, DeAndre Hunter, who averages 14 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists on 42% field goal percentage, 31 from the 3 and 87 from the free throw line. Keon Ellis averages 6 points, 1 rebound, and 1 assist on 40% shooting, 37 from the 3, and 63 from the free throw line. And Dennis Schroeder is a vet point guard who's been in the league for over a decade. Averages 13 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists on 40% shooting, 34 from the 3, and 82 from the free throw line. My notes on this trade exactly is the Cavs used it to create space, but also bring in young talent, younger than DeAndre Hunter. And the Kings acquired a solid 3-and-D wing within DeAndre Hunter. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he was a 6th Man of the Year finalist last year. And Chicago, they waived Dario Saric. No, they didn't waive him. They traded him in a future trade that we'll talk about. But Chicago gains a lot of picks. Not a lot, but gains picks that they can keep stacking for more players. So overall, the grades in this trade, I'll give the Cavs a C+, the Kings a B-, and the Bulls a C+. The next trade is a regular 2-team trade. It's between the Portland Trailblazers and Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks sent 25-year-old shooting guard Vit Krejci, I hope I pronounced it right, to the Portland Trailblazers who averages 9 points per game, 2 rebounds, 2 assists per game, shoots 46% from the field, 42 from 3, and 75 from the free throw line. In return, Atlanta got 29-year-old center Duat Reith, who averages 3 points, 1 rebound, and 0 assists. He also shoots 45% from the field and shoots 83% from the free throw line. The Atlanta also received a 2027 and 2030 second-round pick. Don't know what team owns them. It's just sent there. My take from this trade is the Hawks create space, and they gain their 6th and 7th future second-round pick at their disposal. They have 7 second-round picks in the future. And the Blazers get a young sniper. Vit Krejci, he can shoot the ball. He's 6'8" as well, and he's top 20 in the NBA in three-point percentage with 42.3. So overall grade, I'll give Atlanta a C+. I mean, they didn't really do anything special, and I feel like they lost a better player than the one that they gained. And I give Portland a B. They got a not a game changer, not a game breaker, but he's a game manager. You feel me? So I'll give Portland a B. Next, we got another 3-team trade. It's between the Pistons, the Bulls again, and Minnesota. So the Pistons and Bulls were the main trade of this whole entire bulk. The Pistons sent 23-year-old shooting guard Jaden Ivey to the Bulls, who averages 8 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists on 45% from the field, 37 from 3, and 79 from the free throw line. In return, the Pistons gained shooting guard Kevin Huerter, who's 27, averages 11 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists, 46 from the field, 31 from the 3, and 73 from the free throw line. They also gained 31-year-old center Dario Saric, who the Bulls picked up in their previous trade. And they get a 2026 first-round pick swap. If you don't know what a pick swap is, basically, it's from Minnesota, by the way, in this 3-team deal. Basically, Detroit can choose to swap its 2026 first-round pick with Minnesota's 2026 first-round pick. If Minnesota's pick ends up being better than Detroit, Detroit can exercise the swap and take Minnesota's pick instead of their own. So basically, for example, if Minnesota had the 10th pick while Detroit had the 25th, Detroit can say, give me that, like QJB, and they can get the 10th pick. And now Minnesota has the 25th. But it's not like guaranteed. If Minnesota is worse, Detroit doesn't have the pick swap. So yeah. And Minnesota's part of the 3-team deal trade. They get cash considerations, and they send 38-year-old point guard Mike Conley to the Bulls, who averages 4 points per game, 2 rebounds, 3 assists on 32% shooting from the field and three-point line, and 89 from the free throw line. And my take from this trade is that the Pistons get an experienced vet with shooting ability, and they get a first-round pick swap, which is really great. Chicago gets a younger two-guard with the ability to attack the cup and can defend better than Kevin Huerter can. And overall, I mean, the Timberwolves, they got rid of an old vet. They gained more money. They're gunning for Giannis right now. So my overall grades would be Detroit being an A-, Minnesota being a B+, and Chicago being a B-. The next trade is the Utah Jazz and Memphis Grizzlies trade, where Jaren Jackson Jr. got sent to the Utah Jazz. But I'm not going to cover it on YouTube because I already covered it on my TikTok, my Instagram, and I covered it on YouTube Shorts. So if you guys want to go see my takes on that, you guys can go follow my TikTok. It's @ZaySpeaks__. My Instagram is @ZaySpeaks___. And my YouTube is ZaySpeaks. It's not hard to find. I'll put it in the description. You guys can go look at what I have to say about that trade there. I gave some good insight in my opinion. The next trade we got is between the Cavs and Clippers. It was a straight-up player swap. Darius Garland got sent to the Clippers for James Harden. Darius Garland is a 26-year-old point guard who averages 18 points per game, 2 rebounds, and 7 assists on 45% shooting, 36 from the 3 and 86 from the free throw line. He's also a former 2-time All-Star, and they get a future second-round pick from the Cavs. So the Cavs received in return for Garland was 36-year-old point guard, future Hall of Famer James Harden, former MVP. We all know the All-Stars and all the accolades. He averages 25 points per game, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 42 from the field, 35 from the 3, 90 from the free throw line. Safe to say Harden can still get to his bag. He can still get to where he wants to go. He's still Harden. It's nothing crazy. It's just, in my opinion, the Clippers got younger, but it's puzzling on Harden's side. I mean, the Clippers won 16 out of their last 20 games. I don't get why Harden wanted to leave. But I mean, it's James Harden. He's for like the past 4 teams, he's just been there for a year and a half and bounced. But I understand why Garland wanted to go. Him and his agent Rich Paul have been talking about this for a while.
This upcoming season, I sat Darius down and I explained to him, I was like, this is going to be your last year on the Cavs. Very matter-of-factly, because I do things very black and white.
The Cavs get older and more expensive, but they also pair James Harden with Donovan Mitchell, and Donovan Mitchell can finally take a break on offense every once in a while, which he didn't get the chance to with Garland, because Garland isn't a fraction of the score that Harden is. But, yeah, I mean, the Clippers get younger. They get a watered-down version of Harden, nowhere near the offensive impact, but, in terms of the role that they had in Los Angeles, Garland can fill in what Harden did. Kawhi is still on a blazing hot streak right now. And the Clippers can look at Garland as a franchise cornerstone hopeful. You feel me? So overall, I gave the Clippers a B, and I gave the Cavs a B-. Next, we got the Bulls and the Celtics. Man, the Bulls are busy this trade deadline. Woo!
This is the fastest cashier I know. And he gets down. He don't play.
The Bulls sent 35-year-old center Nikola Vucevic to the Celtics, who averages 17 points per game, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists on 51% shooting from the field, 38 from the 3, and 84 from the free throw line, and a future second-round pick. In return for 26-year-old shooting guard Anthony Simons, who averages 14 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 44 from the field, 40 from the 3, and 89 from the free throw line, and a future second-round pick as well. I gave the Celtics a B and the Bulls a B- because the Bulls got rid of a center that they've been wanting to get rid of a long time. They've been stuck in mediocrity. They've been wanting to get rid of this core. They're finally fire sailing their whole entire roster. The Celtics get a center that they've been looking for. And the Bulls, they're looking to trade Anthony Simons right as acquiring him. They're just using him as a bridge to get to another player that they want in the trade deadline. And if they don't, well, they're stuck with like 20 guards. So yeah, I gave the Celtics a B and the Bulls a B minus, only because they have the intention of trading Simons. If they have the intention of keeping Simons, I'm not gonna lie, it's like a C plus, C minus. Next, we got my favorite trade, because Giannis hasn't been traded yet, but we got my favorite trade. We got the Mavericks and we got the Wizards. Whew. This is a hefty one. The Mavericks sent 32-year-old power forward Anthony Davis to the Wizards, who averages 20, 11, and 3 on 51% shooting from the field, 27 from the 3, and 73 from the free throw line. They sent 23-year-old shooting guard Jaden Hardy, who averages 7, 1, and 1, 40% from the field, 37 from the 3, 78 from the free throw line. They sent 29-year-old point guard D'Angelo Russell. Can you believe he's 29? It feels like he was dancing on the Nets bench a long time ago. Long time ago. But he averages 10, 2, and 4, 41%, 38 from the 3, 72 from the charity stripe. And then they get 30-year-old shooting guard Dante X, 6, 2, and 2, 44 from the field, 34 from the 3, 77 from the free throw line. In return, Dallas got 34-year-old small forward Chris Middleton, who averages 10, 4, and 3, 43 from the field, 33 from the 3, 84 from the free throw line. 21-year-old shooting guard A.J. Johnson, 3, 1, and 1, 33% from the field, 28% from the 3, 75% from the free throw line. 22-year-old shooting guard Malachi Branham, 5, 2, and 1, 47 from the field, 38% from the 3, 82 from the free throw line. 26-year-old power forward Marvin Bagley II, 10, 6, and 2, 63% from the field, which is really good, 42% from the 3, 71 from the free throw line. And the Dallas got a 2026 first-round pick from OKC, 2030 first-round pick from Golden State, that's top 20 protected, 2027 in Phoenix, 2027 Chicago, 2029 Houston, all second-round picks from those teams that I just listed. Woo! Got a lot to unpack here. Man. I just reached a flow state right there. That was flow state. That was flow state. But yeah, I think this was an amazing trade for the Wizards. I gave them an A+. I love this for the Wizards. They get a star vet point guard in January and Trae Young a month before the deadline. And then they get a future Hall of Fame big man, Anthony Davis, this month, right now. Oh my gosh, with that young core and a top five pick next year, because they are the worst team in the NBA. And AD is finally playing the 4 again. He can play the 4 that he's been wanting to play for so long.
I think we need another big. I feel like I've always been at my best when I've been the 4. And having the big out there, we know it worked when we won the championship with JaVale and Dwight. I'm at the 5 and I'm at the 4.
And play alongside Alex Sarr, and then Trae Young, and Kaishan George. Oh my gosh, and Bilal Coulibaly. Oh, it's going to be good. But I gave the Mavericks a C- because we didn't get one game of Kyrie, Coop, and AD. Kyrie and AD only played one game together. The Mavs now lack big dominance. But at least the Mavs get a haul of picks and young talent that's not proven, but they can mold on their own. So overall, I gave the Dallas Mavericks a C-, and I gave the Wizards an A+. Next trade we got the Thunder and the 76ers. The 76ers sent 21-year-old shooting guard Jared McCain, who averages 7, 2, and 2 on 39% from the field, 38 from the 3, and 88 from the free throw line, to the Oklahoma City Thunder. And in return, the Sixers got a 2026 first-round pick owned by Houston and a 2027 second-round pick, most favorable from OKC, Houston, Indiana, or Miami. And they got 2 2028 second-round picks from OKC and Milwaukee. I gave OKC an A, and I gave Philly a B-. Only because OKC gets a proven scorer and a guy that will boost the team chemistry. What I mean by proven scorer, before McCain got hurt last year in the 20 games or something that he played, he was Rookie of the Year front runner. He was dropping 20 points. He was looking fluent. He was doing TikTok dances. He was painting his nails. He was like the Caleb Williams of Philadelphia. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, Caleb Williams. We'll get on him in another video. But in the part where I say boost chemistry, he likes to do TikToks. Oklahoma likes to do TikToks. He's young. Oklahoma's young. I think it's a perfect fit for Oklahoma. They get a scorer. They get a sniper from 3. They just get an overall vibrant guy who will help the team. And Philly, they get picks, and they finally put to bed who they're going to choose over VJ Edgecombe and Jared McCain. So finally, It's VJ's team with Maxey and Embiid. Jared McCain's no longer part of the process, and OKC gets better. Man, we got another 3-team trade. Chicago Bulls, Charlotte Hornets, Oklahoma City Thunder. The Bulls and the Thunder, they are active. So the Bulls received 27-year-old shooting guard Colin Sexton, who averages 14, 2, and 4. 49% from the field, very efficient. 40 from the three, very efficient. 88 from the free throw line, very efficient. The 22-year-old center Ousmane Dieng, 4, 2, and 1, 42 from the field, 37 from the three, and 100 from the free throw line. I assume that he's only taking like 1 or 2 free throws on the year. And they also get a 2029 second-round pick, least favorable from Denver or Charlotte, and 2 2031 second-round picks from New York and Denver. Charlotte, in return, gets 38-year-old point guard Mike Conley from the Bulls, and he's most likely. I'll touch on him in a while. And they get 25-year-old point guard Kobe White, who averages 18, 4, and 5 on 44% shooting, 35 from the three, and 81 from the free throw line. And they get a 2029 second-round second-round pick, most favorable of Atlanta or Miami. And OKC received center Mason Plumlee and then released him right after they waived him. So overall, I gave the Bulls a B+ and Charlotte an A-. A lot of people don't like how the Bulls office is moving, and I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been a fan of the Bulls office because they waited so long. They accepted mediocrity, and now they have to fire sale. But now that the plan is fire selling, I think they're doing pretty good at it. They're just trying to get new faces in. And Kobe White goes back home. I believe he's Carolina's top high school scorers of all time. He's finally back home. He's from North Carolina. He grew up a Hornets fan. He played at UNC. It doesn't get any better than that. I feel like he's going to be at home. And the Bulls get a dog in Colin Sexton. I feel like his play style will help the Bulls a lot because they didn't really have any defense in the backcourt. And that defense and efficiency can really go a long way with Josh Giddey. And I think the young backcourt of LaMelo, Con Canepo, and Kobe White is full of snipers. Like it's gonna be raining threes in Charlotte. And then to top it off, we got a couple just throw-in trades. We got the Clippers, Toronto, and Brooklyn. Brooklyn got Ochai Agbaji. I hope I said that right. And a future second-round pick. Toronto got Chris Paul, but they waived him immediately, and his future he's uncertain if he's going to play in the NBA ever again. And the Clippers got draft rights to 29-year-old overseas player, point guard Vanja Marinkovic. I hope I said that right again. But yeah, I mean, the trades it was to get money flowing around each team, and I gave the net to C+ because they actually got a good young guard in Ochai. And then next, we got another 3-team trade, Atlanta, Utah, Cleveland. Atlanta received a 30-year-old center, Jock Landale, from the Utah and Memphis trade. Utah, they received Lonzo Ball and waived him immediately. Many speculate that he's going to go play with his brother Lonzo in Charlotte. We'll see how that goes. If that happens, Chino Hills points 2.0, that'll be something good to look at. And Utah gets cash and considerations, and Cleveland gets 2 future second-round picks. So that's not the end of the video, but that is the end of my night. There's no trades that have happened yet for the next day. The deadline is tomorrow at 4 p.m., I believe, because I am Central Time. But the deadline is tomorrow. I'm praying the Giannis trade happens. I'm hearing it's only going to go to Minnesota or Miami. The Warriors out of the picture, which is so sad. I was ready. But hey, man, yeah, so I'll pop right back in with y'all. It's going to be a blink of an eye in this video, but for me, it's going to be a lot of hours. So I'll see y'all in a minute. Yeah, but I just wanted to let y'all know that I'm going to be trying to balance making videos and... Whoa. We back, baby. The moment I just got off. The Warriors just traded for Kristaps Porzingis. Here comes that 5th ring. Okay. So, according to Shams, the Golden State Warriors are trading Jonathan Kuminga and Buddy Hield to the Atlanta Hawks for Kristaps Porzingis. We finally got a center. If you guys can't see, I am a Warriors fan. I'm trying my best not to be biased. We got Kuminga. The situation that we didn't it wasn't helping us. We got him out of here. I'm sad to see Buddy go, but we finally got a center. Curry finally has a center, bro, and he can shoot. I give this trade A- for the Warriors, only because Kristaps is a little injury prone and a little old. But still, bro, I this helps the Warriors so much. We weren't going nowhere with Kuminga, so this trade is definitely an A or higher. The Hawks get Kuminga and Buddy Hield. That's perfect. I mean, they need that Kuminga and Jalen Johnson. Ooh! And right as I get up from there, we just traded Trace Jackson Davis to the Raptors for a draft pick. Hold on. We just traded Trace Jackson Davis to the Toronto Raptors for a 2026 second-round pick via the Lakers. So we moving and dealing, we dealing and wheeling, baby. You know what I'm saying? We dealing and feeling, baby. You know what I'm saying? But we you know, my GOAT is back. The next trade we got is a trade between the New York Knicks and Chicago Bulls. The New York Knicks send 30-year-old center Gershon Yabusele, who averages 3 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist on 41% from the field, 31% from the 3, and 67% from the free throw line.
Boy, if you don't get...
And they also send cash considerations to the Bulls. In return, the New York Knicks get 23-year-old shooting guard Dalen Terry, who averages 4 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist, 44% from the field, 41% from the 3, and 53% from the free throw line. Good God. But overall, I gave the Bulls a C+, and I gave the Knicks a not available. I gave the Bulls a C+, because they gave up a 23-year-old wing for an older big who doesn't really move the needle long term. But I gave the Knicks a not available because this trade plays into the next one. The Knicks basically sent 23-year-old shooting guard Dalen Terry to the New Orleans Pelicans for 27-year-old point guard Jose Alvarado, who averages 8 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists, who shoots 42% from the field, 36% from the three-point line, and 83% from the free throw line. And in return, the Pelicans received Dalen Terry, who we just talked about, 2 second-round picks and cash considerations. Overall, I gave the Knicks an A, and I gave the Pelicans a C+. I gave the Knicks an A because they flipped Terry, picks, and cash into Jose Alvarado, which is a huge win. He's a defensive menace, a pest, and he's really he can control the game at times, and he's a good depth and rotational piece for point guard to back up Jalen Brunson. And he's a New York native. He was born in Brooklyn, and he's Puerto Rican. He can connect with the Hispanic community and just the New York community overall. They're going to take him in well. And the Pelicans obtain picks, but they take a swing on a freaky athletic 23-year-old project, which is a bit of a gamble, but when you're giving up Jose Alvarado, you got to take something in, so they got picks and cash as well. So it's a C+ for me. Then we got a trade between the Los Angeles Lakers and Atlanta Hawks. The Lakers sent 29-year-old point guard Gabe Vincent, who averages 5, 1, and 1, 37% from the field, 37% from the 3, and 91% from the free throw line, and a 2032 second-round pick to the Hawks. And in return, the Lakers get 29-year-old shooting guard Luke Kennard, who averages 8 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 54% from the field, 50% from the 3, and 91% from the free throw line. I gave the Lakers a B+, and I gave the Hawks a C. In my opinion, the Lakers get a 50-40-90 guy that's an elite floor spacer, and they replace an underperforming Gabe Vincent who didn't fit the system for the Lakers. The Hawks take a guard that's a worse shooter, which doesn't really raise their ceiling, but they also get a pick, so it evens out. Next, we got a 3-team trade between the Bucks, Suns, and of course the Chicago Bulls, because they said the 2026 deadline is their year. The Bucks receive Ousmane Dieng from the Bulls, and the Suns send 31-year-old forward Nigel Hayes-Davis to the Bucks. In return, the Bucks send 25-year-old point guard Cole Anthony, who averages 7 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists on 42% shooting from the field, 31 from the 3, and 62 from the free throw line. And they receive 28-year-old forward Amir Coffey. Chicago receives 28-year-old center Nick Richards from the Suns, who averages 3 points, 3 rebounds, 0 assists, but he shoots 49% from the field and 68% from the free throw line. Overall, I gave the Bucks a C, I gave the Suns a B-, and I gave the Bulls a C+. The Bucks move a young guard for a mostly short-term depth piece without raising their ceiling, in my opinion. I gave Phoenix a B- since they get a 25-year-old point guard and a solid wing, which immediately helps the rotation as they make a playoff push. And Chicago receives a C because I gave Chicago a C+ because they receive a serviceable center, but it's more of a lateral move, not a true upgrade, in my opinion. And next, we got a trade between the Timberwolves and no other than the Bulls. The Bulls send Ayo Dosunmu, who's a 26-year-old point guard, averaging 15 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists on 51% shooting, 45 from the 3, and 86 from the free throw line. And 22-year-old small forward Julian Phillips, 3 points, 1 rebound, 0 assists, 42% from the field, 33 from the 3, 82 from the free throw line to the Timberwolves. In return for 21-year-old point guard Rob Dillingham, who averages 4, 1, and 2, 33 from the field, 37 from the 3, 75 from the free throw line. They get a 22-year-old power forward Leonard Miller, who averages 2, 1, and 0, 55 from the field, 8% from the 3, and 64% from the free throw line. Safe to say he is not a good shooter, but they also receive a 2026 second-round pick, least favorable of Denver or Golden State, a 2027 second-round pick, and a 2031 second-round pick, most favorable from Minnesota or Golden State, and a 2032 second-round pick, most favorable between Phoenix or Houston. I gave the Bulls a B- and I gave Minnesota an A-. The Bulls move on from an older point guard for a younger project on Rob Dillingham, who's 5 years younger than Ayo. He's flashed real potential and has upside when he has played NBA games, but he wasn't being fully developed, and they get 4 seconds. We also seen Rob Dillingham do what he did in Kentucky under John Calipari, so no one's doubting his game. He just hasn't been developed in the NBA. And I give Minnesota an A- because they land a proven, efficient two-way guard who fits their system perfectly, and he's still young. He's still relatively young. Rob's just younger than him, but he's only 26, and he averages 15 points and 4 assists on elite splits, shooting 51% from the field and 45 from the 3, 86 from the free throw line. That's amazing splits, and he plays good D. Pause. And on our last trade of the trade deadline, it finally doesn't involve the Bulls, but it's the Pacers and the Clippers. The Pacers send 23-year-old shooting guard Benedict Mathurin, who averages 18, 5, and 2 on 43% from the field, 37 from the 3, and 88 from the free throw line. 24-year-old power forward Isaiah Jackson, 6.6 rebounds, 1 assist, 58% from the field, 69 from the free throw line. A 2026 first-round pick from Indiana, but is top 4 protected and 10 through 30 protected, and a 2029 first-round pick alongside a 2028 second-round pick. In return, Indiana receives 28-year-old center Ivica Zubac, who averages 14 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, 61% from the field, 71% from the free throw line. And they also get 26-year-old power forward Kobe Brown, who averages 3, 2, and 1, 39 from the field, 27 from the 3, and 81 from the free throw line. I gave the Clippers a B+, and I gave the Pacers an A+. Only because the Clippers get a super young 18 point per game scorer, add draft capital, and with OKC owning their pick, they have a real chance at turning Indiana's high pick into their own. And I gave Indiana an A+ since Zubac is a better replacement than Miles Turner during a gap year. And next year when they add Zubac, Hallie, a projected top 4 pick, they're gonna be dangerous because they'll only be 1 year removed from pushing OKC to 7. The East better watch out, in my opinion. This helps the Pacers a lot. So that basically finishes the whole entire trade deadline. Since then, any additional news? Mike Conley got signed back with the Wolves because he was traded in a wave that falls under the Andrew Bogut rule. Giannis is staying with the Bucks after all that dilemma. He's staying with the Bucks for now. Boston traded Josh Minott to the Nets for cash considerations. Philly traded Eric Gordon. I think he's in his 18th year. He's 37. They traded Eric Gordon to Memphis for the 2032 second-round pick and draft rights to Justinian Jessup. And then Denver traded Hunter Tyson in the 2032 second to Brooklyn for a 2026 second. So that's basically the recap, my thoughts and my notes and my grades on the 2026 NBA trade deadline. In my opinion, it wasn't better than last year's, but it was a solid 8 out of 10. It had just enough juice and firepower, and it also had storyline behind it. I think this is gonna be a good final 2 months in the NBA season before the playoffs. And I'll keep pushing out videos on basketball. I'm going to start getting football videos in there. I thank you guys for watching this yap. However long it lasted, probably like 26, 27 minutes. However long it lasted, I thank you for sitting through my whole entire yap session. If you did, leave a comment on your. You're always welcome to leave a comment on your thoughts, things you don't agree with, things you disagree on. Yeah, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and just keep supporting me. Thank you guys. Zay Speaks is out.